Thank you for joining us this week at the Texas Automotive News Network, as we've been putting some miles on the 2013 Infiniti JX35. Of course, this has got plenty of luxury on the interior, but on the outside we roll on some 18-inch wheels from the factory. But the touring package on our review vehicle brings in some nice 20-inch aluminum spokes that goes real well with the exterior chrome touches that we find on the sides and on the roof rails. So let's take a look at the rest of this vehicle. Under the hood of our JX35, we're going to find the 3.5 liter V6 engine that produces 265 horsepower. Now this is mated with the CVT transmission that will actually, in the drive mode selective sport, will actually emulate a 6-speed automatic. However, if the CVT gets a little better gas mileage, and we're expecting to get 24 miles to the gallon according to the EPA out on the highway in the JX35. So we're looking at the interior of the 2013 Infiniti JX35, and this is a luxury vehicle, so we're going to find lots of luxury touches. We've noticed one thing, such as around the wood grain on the door panels and the pulls for the door handles, and even around the bezels around the air conditioning vents. It's not all chrome and not a lot of bling. It's more of a finished aluminum look that gives it a little more of a luxury touch. We're going to find down here on the lower left for the driver's compartment a lot of the switches for the controls that aren't normally used a lot, so it kind of cleans up the dash area, puts things kind of out of the way. We've also got a nice large round sweeping gauge package, and right in the middle of that is the digital support mechanism where the driver can control the readouts for the information available, such as driving speeds, economy, miles to empty type thing. The steering wheel is a nice large round padded steering wheel. It's got some controls, which Infiniti is a little different. It does have buttons, but it's also got a toggle type switch right here that makes it very easy to use from a thumb control. And even on down below that where you turn the cruise and stuff off and on, very easy to get to. Bluetooth, all this stuff is very easy to get to with the thumbs. And the again, the toggle switches make for a nice departure, a little something different. Coming on across to the center stack, we're going to find the 8-inch touchscreen monitor where we've got some nice graphics for the map for the nav system. We've also got an information center here where we can use the Infiniti connection. We can go to our fuel economy and see how we've been doing on that. Easy to use, easy touch, easy to understand. Same thing with the audio, very easy to use and plug in and turn on. Coming on down below the center stack, we're going to find some nice controls wrapped in, again, the darker wood grain look. Very simple controls, easy to use, easy to understand, not a lot to it. Coming on down from there in a very styled manner where it kind of bulges out here is where we can find the DVD player, the CD player, as well as our controls, touch buttons for our controls for the audio system that can also be done on the touch screen. Below that, we've got a nice little storage compartment here where we can slide in for our 12-volt power supply, put our phones in here, iPods, whatever, to charge, and have a place to put them. Got some nice cup holders here. Makes for a nice storage compartment right here inside this dash. The center console, all very nice looking. The shifter for the CVT transmission is leather wrapped, easy to use, pull it into drive. Now we do have the controls for the heating and cooling on the seats right here, but we also can find, this is where we're going to find our drive mode. We've got a little snow and echo, and we've got a sport mode here. And what happens here is if we select that, the CVT transmission starts to emulate a automatic 6-speed. So we can kind of shift the shifter to where it's got a manual type feel to it, run it through the gears if we really want to feel like that's what we're doing. Going on across the rest of the interior, we're going to find more of the two-tone color scheme, the wood grain, as well as the aluminum trim that gives it a finished look. We've got storage in the door compartment, and again, more switches and the aluminum. The front seats are perforated, of course, for the heating and cooling system. Got some nice Infiniti logo embroidery work here. We do have some rather large headrests that are large and they're fairly adjustable, but combined with the pillar that's a little bit wider, as you can see here, did create a bit of a blind spot a couple of times. It's easy to fix, just got to adjust the seat to where it's not there, but if it happens to be there, just be aware that that can be a bit of an issue. Coming on down, looking at the rest of the front, we're going to find the center console is a nice padded armrest. We've also got storage here that is deep. This is where we're going to find our storage from the factory for the wireless headsets. Getting them out of the way, we find more 12-volt power supplies and more USB connections, as well as some RCA jacks. So let's take a look at the rest of the vehicle. We're looking at the second row seating of the JX35 interior, and this is the seats that slide forward, as we can see with the slide tracks in the floor. Now, to accomplish this, on the back of the 60/40 seat each side, there's a lever that simply pulls up, causes the seats to fold together. Once they're in this configuration, simply pushing the seat forward, this is what provides us the access into the third row seat. We've actually got a hand grip right here to kind of help with that, steady everybody. But from here you can kind of see how much room there is for feet and for passengers in the third row. Now, these are adjustable seats, they do slide. So from this perspective, we can see how much difference there is in how far these seats will slide. We can also see how much more room this provides for feet in the back for the third row passengers. You can also see from this vantage point the additional storage on the back of the front seats. We've got two little compartments here for magazines or papers or just whatever if we're running the roads. We can also see here how the DVD monitors are handled. Now, they're mounted in the back of these large headrests for the front seat, much like an aftermarket or a customizer would do. And the reason for this is because of the large panoramic sunroofs that we have available with this trim level. So there's really no place in the ceiling to put such a monitor. Coming on down, we're going to look at the back of the rear, or the rear of the front console, where we're going to find our climate controls for the rear seat. We're also going to find our 120 volt plug, as well as another 12 volt power supply. We've got controls for the heated rear seats, as well as our RCA jacks here for the headsets, as well as any other digital media input we want to have. And we do have a 19 speaker Bose sound system. Got speakers mounted in the doors in a couple of places, as well as the front kick panels, and it really will produce some sound in this quality, insulated, quiet vehicle. Looking at the interior of the JX35 from the rear power lift gate, we can see how the seats are arranged. We can also see that we've got some storage underneath the floorboard behind the third row seat. Dry storage. We also find part of our Bose acoustic wave system here is part of the premium sound system in our review vehicle. We've also got the cargo tie downs, as well as another 12 volt power supply here. To drop down the 50/50 third row seats, first thing we got to do is drop the headrest, which simply is a matter of pulling the lever. We flip this lever and the seat just simply folds forward. Now, the second row seat does slide and fold forward about almost 6 inches, so it provides quite a bit of storage space back here. We also can see how much room we have for passengers in the third row seat. Now, to restore the third row, we simply grab the strap, pull the lever up, seat locks into place, and again pull the headrest up, and we're back to the fully functional mode of 7 passengers. We'd like to thank you again for joining us here at the Texas Automotive News Network, as we've been doing a review of the Infiniti JX35, the new luxury CUV from Infiniti. Rolling on some nice 20-inch aluminum wheels with a touring package. We got plenty of style on the outside, as well as luxury interior and power under the hood. If you get a chance to drive one of these vehicles, we highly recommend it. And thank you again. This is Michael Mars for the Texas Automotive News Network, and remember, travel safe.